and I haven't been on YouTube in a little bit. Had a lot of good stuff going on, but want to try to get right back into it here. Revelation chapter 15, it's a really, really short chapter, so this will be a pretty short video. I saw another sign in heaven, great and amazing, 7 angels with 7 plagues, which are the last, for with them the wrath of God is finished. And I saw what appeared to be the sea of glass mingled with fire, and also those who had conquered the beast and its image and the number of its name, standing beside the sea of glass with harps of God in their hands. And they sing a song of Moses, the servant of God, the song of the Lamb, saying, Great and amazing are your deeds, O Lord God, the Almighty. Just and true are your ways, O King of the nations. Who will not fear, O Lord, and glorify your name? For you alone are holy. All nations will come and worship you, for your righteous acts have been revealed. Now after this, I looked, and the sanctuary of the tent of witness in heaven was open, and on the sanctuary came the 7 angels with the 7 plagues, clothed in pure bright linen, with golden sashes around their chests. And one of the 4 living creatures gave to the 7 angels 7 golden bowls full of the wrath of God, for who lives forever and ever. And the sanctuary was filled with smoke from the glory of God and from his power, and no one could enter the sanctuary until the 7 plagues of the 7 angels were finished. All right, so this is a scene in heaven, and it's very much a picture of like the deliverance of Israel out of Egypt. We see that there's like the sea of glass mingled with fire, which kind of is like the Red Sea. And then those who conquered the beast by not taking his image or not worshiping his image, not taking his mark, they were martyred. Now they're in heaven with the Lord, and they're standing at the shore, just like Israel stood at the shore of the Red Sea when they saw all of the sea just destroy Pharaoh's army. And they sang the song of Moses at that time, and they're singing that song here. And so then after this, we see the tent of witness in heaven. The tent of witness is the tabernacle that was in the wilderness with Israel. And it's only called the tent of witness in one other place, and that's in Acts 7:44, where Stephen, the very first martyr of the church, refers to it as that when he's testifying before the Sanhedrin right before he's killed. And I think that's on purpose, because these were martyrs. These are the last martyrs, and he calls it the tent of witness, which is what it was called by the first martyr. I'm not sure what significance that necessarily has, except that God's people have always been pursued by the devil, have always been pursued by those who are evil, have been abused and dealt harshly with. And now God has rescued all of them, and now he's going to deal harshly with them. And so that in the tent of witness, which is in heaven, that tabernacle, the tabernacle on earth when Israel was, during the Old Testament, it was that was the picture of the reality in the heavenly places. And now we're seeing the reality in the heavenly places, the place where God's throne room is, where God dwells in the heavenly places is exposed. And then the angels here are dressed in white linen. They have golden sashes around their chests, which is the kind of vestments of the priests. So they're there serving the Lord in worship. And one of the 4 living creatures that we saw at the beginning of the book that had all the different animal heads and stuff, one of them gives the angel 7 bowls full of wrath, the wrath of God. And the sanctuary was filled with smoke. This is what we would have seen of the glory of God in the holy place on earth. It's happening in heaven. And nobody could enter until the 7 plagues were finished. So this is the last and the greatest and most severe wrath of God that's going to be poured out on the earth. Now, it's hard to, from here on out, it's going to be a little harder to really with accuracy pinpoint what is really what, because this is the part where I think, as you know, as Christians, we're completely off the earth. I mean, we're going to be going to the marriage supper of the Lamb at this time. We are not there at the wrath of God upon the earth, and we don't come back until we ride on horses with Christ on the way to Armageddon. And so, just to say this about the last part of the book of Revelation, this is going to be either the last 3.5 years of Revelation, or all of these bowls of wrath happen very quickly within a matter of, I don't know how long, a very short time. Because the wrath is so severe and so potent and so concentrated that I don't imagine how humanity could live for 3.5 years under the conditions that are going to be thrown out here under the wrath of God. So I'm not, it's hard to say exactly the timeline of how these things are going to go. The pre-wrath people think that this is the last, year of the 7 years, and Christ doesn't, rapture his people until after all the great persecutions and everything with the beast. And so we go through a good 6 years of the tribulation before we are taken out, and then the last part is like the utter obliteration of the rest of the earth. That's a possibility, or business goes as usual after God's people are gone, and the devil just starts taking over the world, and he destroys Babylon the Great, which I think is going to be Rome. But it could be other. We'll get to that when we get there. It could be. There's possibilities of other identifications of that. But like all of his, work is being done, and then finally God just pours out wrath towards the end, or he intermittently pours out wrath, during the last 3.5 years. I don't know. It's hard to say. And but we'll go ahead and end there with chapter 15, and then we'll start looking at the bowls of wrath and as they get poured out. All right. Click like and subscribe, and share these videos with others that are interested in end times, and I hope to see you soon.